All right, welcome everybody. Dr. Mike Reed from Chiropractic Masters International. I want to welcome everyone to this Master Talk. I'm very honored to have a good friend of mine I've recently met and got to know very well. We're two brothers from another mother. Dr. Michael Dibley, who is owner of Institute of Human Potential in Norway, and he's joining us on this Master Talk. So, Michael, thank you for joining us today.
Dude, it's an honor to be with you, and can't wait to further connect with you and your tribe.
You know, Mike, I heard stories about you, all good, of course, and I said I got to meet this guy, and I was very fortunate to have met you when I was over at TL in Scotland, and you're a big name over in Europe and Scandinavian countries, and you're really a shaker and a mover. You're making a lot of great change. So, for the doctors who don't know you. And this is what I love about you, guys who are the tip of the spears, people who are, the lead dogs in the pack. Let's just introduce yourself and talk about your journey, how you got from where you're at to where you're at now.
Yeah. Well, I came on the planet in 1983 into the physical form. And that was 3 days before my father graduated from Palmer, which in our family is called the Fountainhead. And yeah, I was born and raised in chiropractic, man. I'm a third-generation chiropractor. My uncle's a chiropractor. My sister Andrea is a chiropractor. My sister Katie's going to Life West. My sister Emily's going to Palmer.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I was raised in that culture, non-vaccinated, clear and connected. I grew up on a compound property, 7 acres. We weren't allowed to watch TV, but on Fridays we were out building forts, getting checked in the office on a weekly basis. Eating out of the garden. You got a big Amish community. I'm from just outside of Chicago. And so that was the norm. And then when I realized that we live in a really sick and dying world, when you start to look around, my grandfather, one of my best friends, passed when I was 11 years old. And he did all the marketing for Alka-Seltzer in North America.
Wow.
And didn't pay any attention to his health, passed away probably earlier than he should have because he didn't get this message. Then I really was like, I'm going to dedicate my life to this. At 11 years old, I made that decision. I was like, this is chiropractic is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the power on. I'm going to clear as many vessels as possible while I'm on the planet.
I was saying earlier that I love guys who are the tip of the spear, and you started a different type of practice. It's called the Institute of Human Potential. And just before this call, you and I were talking about it. What was the evolution that really gave birth to this different type of practice?
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm third generation chiropractor, and in my town, where I grew up, where my father practiced Elkhart, Indiana, I can't go anywhere without somebody grabbing my arm, telling me that my dad or my uncle or my great uncle had saved their life through chiropractic care. And when you have that experience your whole life and people are telling you that what chiropractic care, saved their life, then you have a respect and a reverence for what chiropractic is. And so when I came into chiropractic as a profession, I was disgusted at the lower vibration that was happening. That was just this focus on neck and low back pain and not human potential care. So human potential is really what DD was really talking about, and was freeing up the nervous system and getting man the physical connected with man the spiritual. So that's where the impetus for the whole office movement, the human potential movement, came from, because that's really what DD was talking about. And in my humble opinion, in the opinion of many, many others in different verticals, different businesses as well, human potential is where the puck is going, and so where it will continue to go, because it transcends the cultural conversation that has been there for chiropractic for a really long time. Which, when you say chiropractor, you're already 10 steps back if you're saying that in public.
That's right. It's got some negative brand equity, so you transcended that sort of status quo and taking it to the next level. And that's right. That's really what we do. Is I always say we maximize expression of the perfection within. So that's really what you're saying. You're optimizing human potential and human performance. So with that, what have you seen? What's the spark that you've seen that's sort of evolved now in Norway?
Well, not just in Norway. I mean, we have 4 locations in Norway that are branded as the Institute for Human Potential 360 Clinic. We have another affiliate clinic with a different brand. We have an office that's branded in Calgary. So we also have a global mastermind group that it consists of chiropractors, yes, but it also consists of chefs, of other practice members. You know, our practice members, we don't call them practice members. They're global chiropractic ambassadors. They're 360 global ambassadors. So we give them a role in our office. And I would suggest anybody on this call, anybody's going to listen to this call, give them a role, give them a job, you know? And so you see this amazing impact. Everybody wants to be a part of something bigger. Everybody wants to be a part of something positive. Everybody wants to be healthy, wealthy, and abundant. And I think that you've got to bring people into that. You got to bring people into that culture, and you got to be that change.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I love the logo, Mike. I get it. You want to explain the logo, the significance, and the importance of what you're wearing?
Yeah. Okay. So 8 years ago, I wanted a logo, and we wanted a logo. Both Dr. Katrina Vala, my partner, and I wanted a logo that reflected the universal intelligence and in the philosophy of chiropractic, the reverence for universal intelligence, that the universe is intelligent. And so this is a Fibonacci frequency and a Fibonacci sequence. In Spanish, it's called Le Flor de la Vida, which is the flower of life. It's also known as the God molecule. It's in all things. And I've never met anybody that didn't say, what is that? Or curious about that. Of course, because it's in us. It's in our universe, this symbol, this logo. And so that vibration, that vibrational imprint, it has a vibrational quality for us. People are attracted to it. So when you guys are branding and designing your office, or if you're rebranding and redesigning, start to think about these types of bigger universal concepts, because you'll be amazed at how many people they resonate with that are not even, you know, that are far, far outside of our profession. I always laugh because it's like so many people outside of our profession get chiropractic more than our profession sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like some of the people in our group that are in, you know, the restaurant business or in other business verticals, they get our profession and our philosophy a lot easier than a lot of the chiropractors.
Well, I agree. It's funny when I first saw it, and you're right, of all the flower of life, that's also the free energy symbol of the Taurus, which is free energy that the universe provides. And, you know, that's at a higher quantum level, but that's why I love that logo. So kudos to you, brother.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Hey, let's talk about G.R.I.N.D. You know, you and I wanted to put a few points together for this talk and talk about how, and what I'd really like to get is for the doctors to get out of that status quo on this call with you and I, Michael, so that they can really transcend to a quantum, a global consciousness level, and really transcend that limited thinking that really holds a lot of them back. So let's talk about G.R.I.N.D. I love that that mnemonic that you have.
Yeah, so that's another, you know, that's another innate thought flash. So with the 360 group and the 360 culture, we have a lot of words like that and a lot of things in our lexicon and our culture that are uniquely and germane to the human potential movement. And I think that's what it, you know, it's a purple cow. And so with grind, you know, you got to G.R.I.N.D. You got to get rid of insecurity, negativity, and doubt. And that's your starting point. You got to start to grind. And what I find a lot with docs and other people from other verticals and business arenas that are stuck, they don't grind enough. They don't get rid of the insecurity and the negativity and the doubt on a regular basis. That's what you got to do. That is the fundamental basic step you have to start. Get rid of the insecurity, negativity, and doubt, and then take massive action. You know, that's what you got to get rid of that stuff before you can actually build something.
And, you know, we also want to talk about thoughts and vision and action equals a result. And I'm all about that. I'm all about results. You can be chasing your tail like a puppy, right, and get nowhere. But it really does take a vision and a very, what I call clarity in that vision, and know exactly where you're going, and then taking massive action. You know, we get that from Tony Robbins, and listening to the thoughts. You know, that innate voice that's coming through you, that's not the educated mind, but it's of the innate mind, and that's talking to you because it'll always lead you in the right direction. So let's just talk about that and your philosophy on results.
Yeah, well, they're everything. I mean, it's what's going to make or break your business. It's going to make or break your practice. It's going to make or break your life. You know, I know Dane Donahue loves this quote, and I love it as well. But your actions are so loud, I can't hear what you're saying. Yeah. You know, and it's just this magical list of ingredients that have to be there. There has to be the inspired thought. There has to be the vision to the thought. Right? So you have to have the inspiration first. Then you have to have the vision, what to do with it, right? And then the action on how, where you're going to take it. Now it's time to move. Now it's time to actually build something. And if you combine those three things, you're going to get a result, you know? And what kind of result are you looking for? You know, outcome-based thinking. What are you looking for? What's the outcome of what you're doing right now? Is this person part of your vision? Is this group of people the people you want to serve? Right? Is this the type of you can say this for anything. Is this the type of fabric you want to feel on your body? Is this the type of food you want to eat? Is this the type of house you want to live in? Is this the type of life you want to, you know, it all comes back to thought plus vision plus action equals results. You know, that's it's just a magical formula, and a lot of people who are stuck, they have one piece of it. You know, a lot of people I meet are really great with vision, but they haven't taken any action, or they take lots of action, and there's not a lot of thought or vision behind it. So
Yeah,
you got to have all three to get the results that you want.
I agree with you. Hey, let's talk about the human potential movement. Mike, you and I had a lot of chats, you know, over at TL. Let's talk about the human potential movement that's sweeping the world right now. What are you seeing being over in Europe with the change and the shift in the consciousness of the population?
Well, I see this. I travel all over the world, so you know, I see it in Europe, of course, and I see it all over the world as well. At the same time, people are waking up. There's quite a few people going to sleep, right? And I think maybe, has it always been that way? I'm not sure. I don't know. I would think so, but I do know that we're in the amidst the greatest chiropractic renaissance in human history. It's like right now is the time for you to step into your greatness and become that human potential specialist for humanity. Create the new conversation for them, create a new story, create a new springboard, create a new paradigm that they're excited about. Because when you come in, I'm more chiropractic. You know, I love chiropractic, but I never introduced myself as a chiropractor because I'm already 10 steps behind. And there's a listening that they have for that, right? And that's due to the generations of chiropractors that have been washed out, and it's been sullied. And they're thinking neck pain, low back pain, physical therapist, whatever. Why not create a new conversation that gets people excited about living their best life, living up to their human potential? That's a much more expansive, you know, conversation, much more growth mindset based conversation.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. This is a renaissance in chiropractic, and when you see the world waking up, you know, I've always believed, you know, we're either wide awake, eyes wide open, or we're sheeple, and there's nothing in between. And when you look at people questioning vaccines and the vaccine movement and all the drug lawsuits that are coming out, and, you know, the government being exposed for being in bed with big pharma, I think people are starting to question, and they are looking at, you know, the potential of expression if they just can connect that to chiropractic, and if chiropractors can connect that message to the population. So, you know, we also, you know, wanted to talk about that one question that the universe only asks, Mike. And I wanted you to sort of drop that on the doctors on this call.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, what you're, you know, to follow up what you're saying, if the chiropractor comes alive and embraces this human potential movement, and creates a new conversation, I can guarantee it'd be a hell of a lot more fun. There's a lot more possibility. The conversation's focused on possibility rather than this hurts still, doc, this hurts still, this hurts still. It gets them to a place of expansion a lot faster. So great thoughts and great comments. Now, as far as the universe's only question, I realized this 8 years ago. This came through. I was hiking in the mountains in Norway, and I didn't know any Norwegian, and I didn't know the language, but I knew that I had to bring chiropractic to this country and light this country up with chiropractic. Because when I got here, there was only maybe a couple old warriors, maybe 2 or 3. I give a big shout out to Casper Andresen and Atle Torstensen. So maybe, you know, 2 or 3 old Palmer boys that were still lighting it up and that were still standing firm for chiropractic, right? But the rest was just washed out physical therapy. So I knew that I had a job to do, and we had a big mission to fulfill. And that's when I realized that the universe really doesn't care what you think and what you tell people you're going to do. It only cares about the question that it has for you is, what do you want? And your answer to that question is your life. So the universe, if you think about it, is constantly asking you, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And your life is the answer to that question.
And that's kind of cool because, I've always believed that we are the masters of our own blackboard. I don't believe that your future, your destiny is preordained. I think that you have the chalk to your own blackboard, and you can actually, draw out your own masterpiece and create it. And I've always believed that the universe provides abundance. And, it's never starved the animals or the fish in the sea. And when you look at the big picture, there's lots of patience, there's lots of suffering. There's actually a deficiency in chiropractors worldwide. So, if we get in that abundance thinking and that attitude of love and servitude, I think, we can really dominate the healthcare on this planet. And that's a massive shift in consciousness. Like you say, it's a quantum shift in consciousness, and that has to really start with us as the chiropractors.
Yeah. They're all waiting, they're all waiting, the whole world, 7 billion people are waiting for us to wake up, right? To embrace our philosophy, to embrace our, ability to put our hands upon people and to analyze and detect vertebral subluxations, ion at the energy. The energy is less than light. The world is waiting for us. The world is waiting for us to awaken. We have to be there for them. I have my intern here. I have 2 interns right now. I have one of them from Palmer here. He goes back next week to graduate. I just got done serving people for the day at 360 global headquarters here in Norway. And he did my health talk tonight. And there's 2 people in my health talk, I got to tell you this, that one of them was diagnosed with terminal cancer, found out about Ty Bollinger, the truth about cancer. Ty's a really great friend of chiropractic. And basically saved his life. He's a psychologist, medical doctor, amazing people. But they told me, they just started care, and they were referred by another doc in England. But long story short, they said, listen, Ty Bollinger is saying that chiropractic is the healthcare of the future. And I said, chiropractic's always been the healthcare of the future. It just, we haven't been direct enough with our public, and we haven't been dynamic enough with our public to step into that leadership role that everybody on this call is called to be. As a chiropractor, when you're given sacred information, when you're given sacred life-saving information, it's our moral duty to take it to our public. You're immoral. It's immoral if you do not take it to the masses. It's immoral. It's your moral obligation. It is what you are ordained to do. I mean, it's a gift given to you. Think about all the people on this call, the chiropractors from around the world, and the people that will see this call. We've been given a gift, and that gift will rot if we don't share it. We must share it.
Yeah, or it's going to get buried by medicine if we sell out. So I agree with you, and we need to be speaking from the top of the mountains. Let's just see if any doctors have a question. You can actually just put it in the chat box or just raise your hand. So if any of the doctors during this call has a question, just pop it out there in the chat box or send us a quick hands up, and you can ask it to Dr. Michael Dibley. And if there's a delay, you guys are hearing a delay, that's because Michael's all the way over in Norway. So this is a Zoom call, and internet's quick, but sometimes there's a bit of a delay in our conversation. So that's why. So just feel free, guys, during this call, if you do have a question for Dr. Michael, don't hesitate just to put it in the chat box down below. You'll see it there, or just raise your hand. I can open up you, and you can ask your question to Dr. Michael Dibley. Mike, how do doctors become a 360 global ambassador or learn more about your practices if they want to, look at joining your group? How do they do that?
Well, you'd go to IFHP IFHP360.com. And then there's all kinds of different bars. We have all kinds of different products. Everything we do in our office is custom. So there's our products there, our posters, autonomic charts, all of it's dynamic, amazing, quality, artistic level work. Also, there's a bar that says partnership. And then we have different levels of membership for doctors to become global chiropractic ambassadors and human potential specialists. So just go to IFHP360.com. And if you need anything, if you have any questions in regard to that, then there's a bar on there to send a message as well.
Hey, let's talk about this. You and Jonathan created a great DVD, Clear and Connected. Let's talk about this. What was your inspiration to produce this, and what's the impact been like?
Man, I tell you what. So what happened was, again, it goes back to being born and raised in a 5-star chiropractic environment. It was, my dad, my uncle, they're the mayors, man. They take care of everybody. They take care of the top surgeons, the top business people. We have restaurants back home, and coming from that environment and getting into our profession and trying to find something quality of substance in the media on chiropractic was damn near impossible when I did a Google search. So I said, we have got to make a film that exposes what chiropractic is about. And it's about being clear and connected. It's about human potential. And so Dr. Jonathan Verderame and myself, we said, we got to do this. And so we went around the world interviewing our favorite, and not just our favorite, but the most influential chiropractors on the planet. And what we did is we asked them a simple question. And we asked them, why is chiropractic essential to the advancement of humanity? Right? And so we have over 85 human potential specialists, chiropractors, on this video, on this documentary, and it's answering that question. And it started off as a project that was going to be titled The Politics of Human Potential. So that would have led us down a road where we would have been focusing on the problem more than the solution. So we chose to highlight and light up chiropractic and show the world what chiropractic can do and what it really is about, rather than go down the road of what's the problem. We wanted to. This film is about the solution, which is chiropractic solution.
Gotcha. Love it. And how can they get a copy if the docs who are watching this, or we're going to evergreen this and podcast this? So what I'm doing, I'm holding up your DVD called Clear and Connected. How can they go about getting a copy of this?
Yeah, you can go. Well, that's easy. You can go to clearandconnectedmovie.com, and then you could either get a digital download if it's personal use, or you can get different DVD packages for your office, which I would highly recommend. I hand them out every day with my card in there, and I literally hand them out, and I say, listen, this is a gift. Watch it in its entirety. The only thing I ask, we usually sell this. This is a gift. Watch it in its entirety. As soon as you got everything you need from the film, pass it on to somebody that you love and that you care about.
Pay it forward.
So it's a very, very, very pay it forward. Also a great way to help build a practice. Just another line in the water, and people really people resonate. People resonate. People like to watch film, especially a film that's pure chiropractic.
Fantastic. Mike, and just in closing, do you have any messages you want to leave with the doctors on this call? For the doctors, and I find a lot of doctors that I've met are in a rut. They're stuck in old patterns and old habits, and they daydream about, and they have this vision and this goal and dream of greatness in their practice. Any words of advice for the doctors to step out of that rut and move forward?
Well, when I was starting, my first practice, you never know how something's going to go until you get into it, right? So I asked my father, I called my father, I said, Dad, did you ever think you'd be unsuccessful in chiropractic? And he said to me this, and this is the same thing I'll tell all the docs on this call. When it comes to chiropractic, failure is not an option. Failure is not an option. What we have and what we do is too big. We deal in IV, infinite value. A Rolls Royce, the new Rolls Royce Phantom, $686,000. Yeah, it's not that much actually. what we do and what we deliver every day, we deliver more than that. We don't have a value. It's beyond marketable value. It's worth more than diamonds. It's worth more than gold. It's worth more than Rolls Royces. What we have as chiropractors is so valuable. Failure is not an option. So stop playing small. Find a mentor. Find someone that resonates with you, a group, a tribe, and get busy. And get busy serving people. What we have is so big. You know, and I would say never, never, never give up. Failure is never an option in chiropractic.
That's huge, and that's beautiful, buddy. I appreciate you sharing that with us. You know, words to take home and ruminate on tonight. So, Michael, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and the team at CMI for sharing your wisdom and being on with us on this Master Talk. And for the doctors who are listening to Mike, one last plug for you, Michael. How can they get hold of you?
Well, again, you can go to ifhp360.com. Also, we're very active on social media and Facebook, so you're certainly welcome to send a PM there. And I'm easy to get a hold of, so you're welcome to do that. I can always send you a link for a free one-on-one call as well, mastermind call. So let me know how we can serve you. We're happy to do it. This profession needs to become, uber successful, infinitely more successful. So let's all work together and make that happen.
And I've got you speaking at Prosperity Summit. So the doctors who want to hear more of Dr. Michael Dibley, prosperitysummit.net. And tickets are still for sale. So you can go to prosperitysummit.net to join us October 27th, 28th in Richmond, Virginia. Michael, thanks for being on, brother. Love and appreciate you for who you are and what you do. Namaste, my friend. And I will see you shortly in a couple weeks. Thanks, Docs, for being on. Until
hey, man.
After talk, keep practicing with passion.
I'd love to have you subscribe, comment, like, and share this video with your friends. And don't forget to go to www.chiropractic-masters.com for more free practice building tools.